you a fan of this podcast? Do you wish there was even more juicy content for you to sink your ears into? Well, there is. You can become a premium member of this podcast for $5.99 a month and get full access to an archive of over 50 bonus episodes. Additionally, we release a bonus episode every single month. That's a ton of extra content, including my personal interior design diaries, extra tips, my talking about trends, and so much more. Additionally, you'll be keeping us on the airwaves each and every week because your premium membership money goes directly back to making this podcast amazing. Check us out at affordableinteriordesign.com. Click on podcast to learn more and to become a premium member today. Hi, everyone. I hope you and yours are feeling healthy and well during this coronavirus pandemic. For this episode and the foreseeable upcoming episodes, the podcast is going to have a more raw and unpolished sound. Our dear friend and amazing podcast producer, Catherine, is suffering from the effects of the coronavirus. In addition, her neighborhood has been severely impacted. And as you know, we're located in the hotbed, New York State, and we are suffering over here. And unfortunately, she is suffering. So we're going to have a different sound. Please bear with us and please keep her in your thoughts. Please send good energy Catherine's way. And I'm sending good energy to all of you out there. All right, here's the episode.
Need a high-end designer or a lot of money to get a luxe look. Be your own interior designer.
This is Affordable Interior Design, the podcast.
Here's your host, Betsy Helmuth.
Hi, listeners. How are you guys doing? What is going on? I was really excited to have time to create lots of content because unfortunately, I'm looking for silver linings. Unfortunately, my interior design business has dwindled down to not very much at all. Fortunately, we've always had virtual packages, but they've never been our bread and butter. They've never been what we love to do, even though working virtually is awesome and there's nothing quite like designing in your PJs. Still, going to a space, meeting face-to-face with the client has always been our favorite way to work. Now we've transitioned completely to virtual, and a lot of people just aren't thinking about spending on interior design right now, even though interior design is more important than ever with people working from home, homeschooling, being in the same space with all their family all the time. Having a functional space that feels cozy and safe is more important than ever. But spending money on that service or spending time thinking about things other than survival right now, it seems like kind of a leap. That said, we've been very quiet over here and our business has all but come to a screeching halt. Trying to look for that upside, I said to myself, well, I can create a lot of content. People are going to want to hear additional podcasts. People are going to need to hear that friendly voice and get that advice for free. People are going to want to check out our new YouTube channel, Affordable Interior Design TV. There's never been a better time for me to spend my time and energy focusing on that. And let me just tell you, I haven't had any energy. Today, I slept in till noon. And my kids ate breakfast at noon. I'm going to try and pull myself together. And most days I do a little bit better than that. But it's been depressing. My husband and I split the homeschooling duties, and I'm so lucky to have such an amazing, helpful, and engaged partner. And even then, it's overwhelming. And, trying to not show your emotions to your children, trying to save them, for times when you're either alone or with your partner. trying to navigate those emotions. Like, what am I even feeling? I'm depressed. I'm confused. I'm unmotivated. I'm a little lost. I'm scared. I'm so devastated for people who are truly suffering during this time. It's just a lot, right? There's a lot in the air. And I thought, well, people would want podcasts because I want podcasts. I am desperately refreshing like every gosh darn day, waiting for the people that I long to hear from, to guide me, to distract me, to inform me, to just get me thinking about anything but myself and what I'm going to watch next on Netflix and the state of the world, just anything, right? But podcasts haven't been dropping. And I actually was reading some statistics that podcast listening is dropping because people aren't really commuting. So that was like, well, forget it. I'll just go sleep a little more. But today I've decided to show up. I'm going to podcast for you because we have questions in the mailbag and I want to be there for you in the small way that I can. So I am going to launch Affordable Interior Design TV this month, come hell or high water. I am going to continue to produce podcasts, and I feel so grateful that my podcast producer is healthy again. Shout out to the amazing Catherine from thepodcastshop.com, who is so critical to the success of this podcast. As you guys heard during the last 2 episodes when she was not available due to illness, they were raw, and I did not sound as good as I like to sound. So I'm so glad she's back and healthy, and it is those types of things that I feel really grateful for during this time.
And now it's time for a quick commercial break.
Do you love this podcast? Do you wish you could learn even more? Well, we have an online class bundle. Our online class bundle is comprised of 3 online classes: Beautifying Your Home for Less, Styling Your Home, and the Fundamentals of Feng Shui. Each one of those 3 classes is between 30 and 45 minutes long and chock-filled with visuals and tips, things that will help you to style your own space or help out with other spaces. Additionally, with the pack of 3 classes, you get an autographed copy of my book, Affordable Interior Design. You get all of that for only $99. Once again, that's the 3 online classes as well as the book for only $99. You just go to affordableinteriordesign.com/classes. Once again, affordableinteriordesign.com/classes to buy your bundle today. And if one of those classes sounded intriguing, but maybe you already have my book or some of the other topics are not of interest, you can buy the classes individually at that site as well. Each class is $40. So head over to affordableinteriordesign.com/classes to get your bundle or your online class today.
Okay, to your questions. Kara writes, "Hi, Betsy. I'm a premium member. Can my question move to the top of the mailbag?" Of course. Premium members, now more than ever, I truly appreciate you. When all other revenue streams have dried, it makes me feel so supported, and it helps to keep this podcast on the air when you become a premium member. Not only is it an affordable amount per month, and certainly if you go yearly, it's much more affordable. I think it's like $30 a year, something like that. And you get access to our monthly bonus episodes as well as our archive of over 50 bonus episodes. And plus you just get all my gratitude and you get to go to the top of the mailbag, Kara. So here we are. You write, "I have some questions. Number 1, I'm wondering what some of your favorite 60-30-10 combo colors are." So my favorite 60-30-10 combinations do not exist, Kara. My feeling is that I love to go from an inspiration piece. I never think about trying to shoehorn my favorite combinations into a palette. Rather, I find that I'm most inspired by locating or working from an inspiration piece. Show me that piece you love. Let me find that piece you're gonna love. And then we'll pull the palette from there. That's my favorite thing to do. That's my favorite way to work. And so I don't ever think of those combos independently. Then when I do get that piece, and you know I'm a very practical thinker, when I do get that piece, I think about the colors that would be easiest for me to locate in a retail market. It's very hard to color match a purple with another purple from an inspiration piece. So I don't use purple for a variety of reasons, but color matching is one of them. So I stick with colors that I can easily find at a lot of stores that I'm sure will be the same hue. For instance, olive green. Oh my gosh, I love that one. I also really love navy blue because navy from Anthropologie is going to coordinate beautifully with navy from JCPenney. And even if they're not exactly the same, they're going to be close enough. Whereas if you like a cherry red, you're going to find that the cherry red that you find on CB2 is going to look very different than the cherry red that you found on article.com when you get them in the same place, because the variation of that orange will really throw you off. I'm teaching my kids right now as I'm homeschooling. We just had a lesson in color theory yesterday, and primary colors are going to be the easiest for you to match. That true red, that sun yellow, that royal blue, or the darker versions of those, like a burgundy, a yellow ochre, and a navy. When you start going to secondary colors, which are green, orange, violet, or purple, it starts getting a little bit dicier. It starts getting a little bit harder to ensure that the blend that you find is going to be the same. That's the blend from one retailer to the next. And then when you go to tertiary colors like red violet, like yellow orange, like blue green, well, there starts to be so many derivations that it can get really tricky to match that aqua to that turquoise to that teal. So hopefully that gave you some parameters, because when I create that color combination, I'm always thinking practical first, pretty second. The next question you asked me is, what are some great paint colors for windowless bathrooms? When a bathroom gets absolutely no natural light, if it is a bathroom where you're doing your makeup, where you are toweling off after the shower, you want to keep it neutral, light, and bright. The reason is because your skin tone will look very different in the mirror if you have a blue wall color or a green wall color, and you will not be seeing yourself the way that you actually look due to that lack of natural light and due to the light bouncing off of the colorful paint. If this is a powder room, say, or just a guest bath where people aren't doing their makeup, where they're not naked and toweling off, I think you can go pretty extreme. You can have some fun in there. I love doing a really bold, colorful wallpaper. I love doing a rich emerald wall paint, or something that really is unexpected, because in those tiny rooms, you can make big, big statements. Your next question is, what design styles are in the forefront right now? What do you think will continue to be popular in the coming years? All right. Right now, the world is changing so much that I really can't see into the future. I would have never anticipated 1 month ago that the reality would look like it does now. What I can tell you is, in times of uncertainty, in times of danger, fear, sadness, crisis, in the winter when people are hunkering down at home, they want comfort. They want cozy. So if I had to predict, and gosh knows, Brave New World, I don't stand by these predictions, but if I had to look in my crystal ball, I would say industrial and farmhouse will be on the way out. Industrial is cold, those raw materials, those metals. It does not have connotations of coziness or comfort. And again, with farmhouse, you're using those rough-hewn woods. You're using things like burlap, things that don't necessarily scream cuddle up. I think people are going to want to return to a time before, to things that they were familiar with either growing up or things that provide comfort now. So So I think transitional and traditional design will be on the rise. I also think that we're going to see a return to warmer colors. Warmer colors help you to feel cozy. So maybe like yellows, reds, but I would say that they'll be muted. Loud reds and loud yellows increase anxiety, increase frenetic energy. So definitely muted warm tones for that cozy factor. And then the two colors that connote safety and calm are blue and green. Those are classics that are always favorites of mine and my clients, but I think people will be particularly drawn to them in these times. Kara, you finish your note by saying thank you and take care during this lonely-ish time. And I will tell you, it is a lonely-ish time. I miss my friends. I miss going to business meetings. I miss my employees. I miss so much. And I'm sure you do too. That's why I want one thing to maintain a consistency in your life. And perhaps that one thing could be this podcast. Guys, if you have questions, if you're feeling lonely-ish, write to me at info@affordableinteriordesign.com. I'm going to try to be a beacon of light during this tough time. That is when I can get out from under the covers. All right, till next time, guys. Bye and stay safe.
A big thank you to our amazing producer, Katherine Heller, to Aton and the MVCR House Band, and to Affordable Interior Design, the sponsor of this podcast and the premier place to get an amazing look on a budget. Check out affordableinteriordesign.com. If you guys love the show, the very best way to support us is by spreading the word. Tell your friends or write us an awesome review on iTunes. So until next week, guys, thanks so much for joining us, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. You've asked for it, and we have answered the call. For years, you've been saying, Betsy, you're talking about all these great design concepts, but we can't visualize them. You're describing the picture that the listener sent in of their problem, and we wish we could see that picture too. After all, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and I do my best to describe them, but there's nothing like seeing it for yourself. And that's why Affordable Interior Design, the podcast, now has a YouTube channel. Not only do we have a YouTube channel where you could see recordings and clips of these podcast episodes, we also have an Instagram, a Facebook, and so many other exciting things. You should check it out. Head over to affordableinteriordesign.com/links. Once again, affordableinteriordesign.com/LINKS. links. And when you go there, you will see links to our YouTube page, our Instagram page, our Facebook page, and more. Please check it out, follow and subscribe so you can see everything I'm talking about.